Why hello everybody and welcome back to another long video. So everyone else on planet Earth is rebuilding their airport, so I'm going to follow because I'm a follower, not a trendsetter. So after watching Alpine build his airport, I now have a lot more knowledge on how airports work, and I realized that my airport is a piece of crap. So today we are going to start to fix that. It's going to be a long project. I'm not going to be able to finish the whole thing today, but we're going to get a good chunk started. So let's go look at the old airport and all of the weird problems it has. It is time to say goodbye to this beautiful, not so beautiful and not so beautiful airport at the same time. The beautiful part is this new train station that I built maybe about a month ago, but it's going to have to go bye-bye now, unfortunately, because it's very detailed in there. But yeah, the problem with this airport is mainly the layout. This is just a lot of wasted space, and I'll show you a little bit. This airport is just, the inside is not accurate. Inside the airport, I feel like it is just way too tall, way too open. This layout just doesn't make sense, and international and domestic flights do not have their own areas, which is like a really big thing in airports. Got to keep those passengers separate. Not that this airport is bad. This was my first airport I've ever built, so I'm gonna demolish this and build my second airport ever. But for my first one ever, this one was alright. And I mean, I had the basic things down, like baggage claim being down here, car rentals and baggage stuff. So your arriving flights are on the bottom, departing flights on top. I got that part down. I just screwed up the scaling. Like this roof, it's probably like 25 blocks tall, which makes it 70 feet. Like that's just way too tall. And this terminal is just way too big, way too fat. This is probably 100 meters. Like that's way too big. When planning this new airport, I went through 3 different plans. Plan A and Plan B did not make it through. Plan C is what ultimately kind of got built, for the most part. So this is Plan C. As you can see, I shifted the ring road kind of further down and further into what used to be the air side of things. I figured there was a lot of wasted space on the old air side, so I'm going to push it in a little bit further because I'm going to make the airplanes a little bit smaller, which means the taxiways and runways can be a little bit smaller as well. But yeah, basically up here is the domestic terminals. They're going to be kind of split in half because of how the airlines are going to work. I'll get into that later. And then the red is going to be our Int'l international terminal. So with a solid plan in place, we shall now start demolishing the old airport and getting rid of this ugly thing that doesn't work. You know, I'm not gonna lie, this looks pretty cool. Now with everything out of the way, I went ahead and just extended that diagonal road probably another 200 blocks and added an exit. Took maybe like 2 hours, but I did it off camera. So now we can get started with the actual roads. that was. We are here with a little update on the roads, and we have basically the entire ring that goes around pretty much complete, laid out, filled in. Details I'm going to wait until the terminal buildings are built, but I'm going to kind of guide you through the roads here a little bit. So basically, when you enter in on this side, it's pretty straightforward until you get to here. This is where departing and arriving flights will split. We're gonna have departing flights on top, arriving flights on bottom, like usual. And this curve and split off is way cleaner than the last one. The last one had some clearance issues and a whole bunch of other things. If you're wondering what these purple lines are, this is the light rail line. I don't have it filled in yet. It's like the one thing that's not filled in, but the track that it's going to take is laid out. So continuing on down, this is on the departing side. This is going to be where the drop-off lanes start, and the airport will be right here. And same thing on the bottom. This will be kind of like a waiting area, and then when your ride comes up, you'll get in right here. And this lane right here is going to be a through lane. And it's pretty straightforward all the way through here. Same thing up there. Once we get to here, I added in a little bypass. So you can, if you're done picking up or dropping off whoever you're looking for, and you don't want to drive past the international terminal, or for some reason the traffic there's really bad and you don't want to wait in traffic, you can exit. These lanes will exit the little loop going on there and bypass the drop-off / pickup lanes for Terminal 2, which are right here. And also, these lanes will probably have access to some of the parking garages, so if you were like dropping everybody off and then you wanted to come park the car, you could swoop around there and get into the parking garage from there. And eventually these connect back up to these roads after it passes the international terminal, and off to the exit it goes, and this lonely little road is going to branch off probably to more parking garages. Continuing on down, it pretty much, once the arriving and departing flights merge back together, you're on your way out of the airport. I'm probably going to have some exit for the parking merge in somewhere on this straightaway. And then continuing on down, we've pretty much done the full loop, because here's where we came in at. Here is where you can exit onto the smaller airport roads, where there's going to be hotel, some more warehouses. The general aviation terminal is going to be over here. So this is just an exit to some smaller roads where there's going to be some other things, maybe some warehouses. I realize a lot of airports have this kind of area where it's like normal city streets. It's not highways, but there's like hotels and restaurants and all sorts of things. So we have an area for that. This is also another exit for the hotels and stuff, and it's also a U-turn point. Let's say you forgot, or you had to loop back around, you could come all the way to this exit and then do a little U-turn right here and get back on and loop back around. So this is also doubles as a U-turn point. And onward to the existing interchange that we had. Didn't really change much here because that would have been a lot of work. So we're going to keep this. Everything from there on is new. And you also saw the time lapse. We made this cool little tunnel. Pretty sick. This is for mainly the freight, because before the freight exit was like way up there and there were some nasty swing lanes because we had some merging going on with this. So now the freight trucks will exit way back here, which I think you saw on camera, maybe not, and will now join up with this new road, which is also going to kind of double as a second entrance to the airport. Instead of coming in the highway way, you can come in through the freight roads, I guess, and then it'll come up into here. There'll be like hotels and stuff for those pilots, because usually pilots, when they get to a destination, they need a hotel that's right next to the airport. So that's where all of this is going to be, pretty much hotels. I think now we're going to start laying out where the parking structures are going to go, because the roads are pretty much there. So I need to start laying out parking garage ideas and ramps and where all that's going to go. So it's going to be mainly inside this giant squares where I'm going to be for the next couple hours. So we now have pretty much everything laid out. Nothing is built. There's hardly any details, although I did start detailing the roads a little bit. I got some street signs. I didn't put any of the letters in, but we got what it's going to say. I did some detailing on the light rail line, got some of that filled in, did some of the support pillars. So now I think I'm going to start actually constructing our parking structures. I got them all laid out, so I might as well build them. It's going to be kind of dumb to not build them. And then after I'm done with the parking garages, I think I'm going to lay out the structural grid for Terminal 1. I'm not going to actually build Terminal 1 in this episode, but I'm going to lay out the structural grid for it, so kind of like the layout. But yeah, that'll be next episode, but I am going to finish these garages. So let's go ahead and do that. We now have some beautiful little garages. They're not so little. So the plan here is, well, this is the blue garage, this is the green garage. Tried to kind of color match them a little bit with the railings here. And they're connected with a little pedestrian bridge. And then these lanes right here is going to be the bus area. So I am kind of sick and tired of building parking garages. I still have one more to build. It's the red garage. It's going to be over here. But I started making a plan for the terminals because I really want to build the structural grid for the terminal buildings. I'm not going to do anything else other than just a grid of a random block. All the other stuff will happen in the next episode. But yeah, and then I might landscape a little bit around these garages. But I do really want to lay out the structural grid. So here is the plan I have come up with for the terminal buildings. Pretty complicated plan. I fit, I believe, 27 gates between both international and domestic terminals. Domestic is blue, international is red. They're separate buildings, but I'm going to start with the domestic because it's the most complicated. And yeah, I kind of took inspiration from Spokane International Airport. It kind of has this finger design with a little dome in the middle. So yeah, we're going to recreate the shape from Spokane a little bit. Also, if you are enjoying the video so far, hit that like button. And if you are really enjoying the video so far, hit that subscribe button. Alright, now let's get into building that structural grid. So I had to do a little bit of off-camera wiggling around of the gates, but I've pretty much stayed on plan. The only thing is this gate right, way zoomed out. This gate right here, I ended up squeezing in. There was originally only supposed to be 5. I squeezed in 6, and then the original 5 over here. Although I was originally anticipating all 5 of these to be big hangar, or whatever you want to call aprons, airplane aprons. Originally these were all supposed to be big, but I couldn't make that work because behind the aircraft there has to be at least 200 feet for the jet blast, or the big blast of air that comes out of the engines. So I couldn't have a big one here because it would have been hitting the building, and that's not good. So this is what I came up with. Ignore all these are floating in midair. But this is kind of the section of the terminal that is for Matadoran Air and Hawaiian Air. Exclusively, I guess. So a little bit of a tour of the grid that we have. This is the security line for these 5 gates. So you'll enter through here, go across the little bridge, and then here will be where the gates are. And then if you're exiting, you'll come through here, and there'll be a little hallway that kind of snakes around here, and you'll come out to here. So all here will be the ticketing, and then down below will be baggage claim, and then we have some escalators and elevators on either side. And then one level up above here is just access to the bridges to get over to the red parking garage, which is not built. So that's pretty much this section of Terminal A. And then I'm thinking this branch will be Matadoran Air, and then this branch will be Hawaiian Air. Matadoran and Hawaiian are kind of the main airlines at this airport, so hence they have the biggest sections of the airport, the most gates. The other 3 airlines, you know, they'll only have maybe 1 or 2 gates apiece. So that's kind of how real airports work. Each airline buys a gate, and that is their gate to use whenever they want for whatever flights. So, well, depending on how big the apron is. So that's how this airport's going to operate. But now I'm going to continue on with the grid going this way, and I'm going to continue the other section of Terminal A that is currently not existing. So I did a little bit of off-camera work. You did see this whole thing get laid out, but I started going and laying out where this Metro Mover line is going to go, and it took me quite a long time. It took me probably about an hour. It did just stop right here, but now I've laid it out. It goes all the way over here. It's going to snake around. It's going to cross over the road right here, and it's going to swoop around, and there's going to be a station here, which you'll then go up the stairs or the elevator to this walkway, which will go to the terminal, the international terminal. It'll then keep going this way to where then it will go all the way over here, and you can kind of see where it goes. It goes all right over there, and it will go off to the exit. On the other side, back where we came from on the other side, so it's gonna go this way. So we're kind of going backwards now. So it's gonna come down, or it's gonna go up, but we're going down. And there's going to be a station right here. It's gonna be connected to this garage, and then there'll be elevators and or stairs or both that go up to here and connect to this terminal. So you'll be able to go to this building, that building, and the future international terminal all on this line. And then this line right here is our light rail that if we follow, this is the path, if we follow this, it goes all the way to downtown. So this is our link to downtown, and this Metro Mover is basically just going to get you all around the airport and connect you to everything. So that's what I've been busy doing. Now I'm kind of in a landscaping mood. I put out that metro line because I wanted to know where it was going to go so I could plant trees around it. So I'm feeling landscapey a little bit. So I'm going to landscape around pretty much this garage. This is all done. Oh, and I think I redid this road off camera too. There were some weird little merges happening and whatnot, so I made this a little bit better. This will have to be a stoplight or a stop sign. It is what it is, but yeah, it's not much traffic coming through here, so it's not that big of a deal. So yeah, I'm going to landscape around all these garages, and then, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to lay out the international terminal and get it gridded up like I have over there. I might, we'll see. I don't know, we'll see, but I'm definitely going to landscape, because that's what I'm in the mood to do. Alright, I'm going to do a quick run through of this international terminal because I have learned some things. So I learned through the power of the internet that when you arrive at a new airport and you're an international passenger, you cannot just come out of the gate and go to the bathroom, go to the restaurants, whatever. Once you come off the plane, you have to immediately come down this hallway and you are completely separated from everyone else. And you have to follow this path. It's a little bit of a maze, and then it'll shoot you all the way down to the ground floor where you have to go through customs, which is what the C stands for. And once you go through customs, they check your passport, yada yada. You can then exit through here to baggage claim. So I did learn that, so I had to design this entire international terminal around that little caveat, the passengers being separate. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. We got a big central area right here where all your food's going to be. The security is going to be right here for people that are leaving, departing. So this will be the post-screening line or pre-screening line. It'll, well, probably be more like right here. But this is security. You'll come through here, and here's where all the gates are going to be. And over here, this is the ticketing. And underneath is baggage claim, so pretty standard stuff. And then we have bridges over to these garages, which I had to redo, unfortunately, but these will work better as they are more direct. This is the final stretch for part 1 of the airport. The garages are pretty much set in stone, as well as the location of everything else. Hence why I'm going to start landscaping everything, get it all pretty just for this episode. Next episode is going to be pretty much building the terminals, the exterior and everything except the interior. So hopefully you guys enjoy.